Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Let me check the sound. Okay, let's do this. All right, we should be straight. All right, so hope everybody's doing well. Nobody's here in the chat currently. As always, on our live stream, roughly go 20 plus minutes, 30, depending on the chat. If nobody pops in within that time frame, then I'll just call. But it just depends too, because this article is long. Talk about a few things that I came across with this article from I think it was yesterday. I think what? I was at work watching. I was on my break. I was scrolling through social media. I was trying to watch something, but I saw this specific thing pop up, and it was just like, yo, they really said, they put this vote in, right? And these folks said that Yu Yu Hakusho, the Dark Tournament, was the best tournament in anime, in all of anime. And I was like, yo. And of course, the tag at the end was talking about, when it's pertaining to a specific tournament that's been, deemed top for a good while. And I was just like, yeah, I know exactly what tournament people are talking about. Of course, it just starts with a D. Goes DB. You could probably add a Z in there as well. But interesting enough, this article did bring up DBS and DB, but not DBZ. Nothing about the... Well, you could say that it wasn't... it was a tournament. Cell Games was a tournament. But, per this article, guys, I was just like, yo, like, this is dope. The article writer, her name is Anna Linwazer. Again, it's basically saying top 21 tournaments of all time that they were ranked. And it goes from 1 to 21. Now, there were a few on there that I didn't know anything about because I haven't watched at least most of the anime that they talked about, or even a few of them that I haven't even checked out yet. So those specific tournaments, because even though they're ranked, I'm like, cool, I would just have to add them to my list and check them out. But with that, like I said, hope everybody's doing well on this weekend, on this Saturday. A couple hours into the afternoon, working on some stuff for the channel that is still gonna be further down the road in the coming weeks. Hopefully I can get stuff a little bit more done. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's dive into this article, guys. Let's see. I think I have it. I just have to get this here. Yeah, there we go. This is the article itself. Can't really even blow it up, but I have it on my phone here. Should have come up here with my phone wise, but this is what it's interesting stuff. So, top of the article says 21 greatest anime tournaments of all time ranked. It says that anime, per the what it's talking about on the screen, the anime with tournaments are tried and true staples of the medium. There's nothing like watching a cartoon you've come to know and love compete, win, and advance to the next level. The coolest anime tournaments not only treat you to high stake battles that will leave your heart pounding, they also give you insight into the participations excuse me, the participants' thoughts and emotions. All of the best. Let me get rid of this ad here. All of the best. I lost it because I had. Oh, there it goes. All of the best tournaments in anime are intense. The greatest anime tournaments feature everything from volleyball games that will leave you shouting at your screen like a real sports fan. I can attest to that per like Haikyuu. Haikyuu is like one of my favorite all-time sports animes of all time, which I got to get back into because I think that the next season of anime is supposed to be coming up in the next 6 to 10 months, I think, if I remember correctly. I just got behind on that. I should have kept up with it. Let's see. A real sports fan life to life or death competitions to become the god of time and space. If you like your anime suspenseful, emotionally moving, and or just plain great, the tournament arcs are a great way to get your fix. Like I said, it's starting from number 1. The top 5 is very interesting, but let's dive into this. They got Yu Yu Hakusho again, was voted number 1. It doesn't specifically say where this voting happened or like when it happened. It just specifies that this vote was put out and people, anime fans voted, and these are the top 21. So Yu Yu Hakusho was number 1. Again, of course, saying the Dark Tournament arc from Yu Yu Hakusho uses a standard tournament format with eliminations after each round. Yusuke Urameshi and his friends join with the goal of claiming the prize, a single wish. This fight is much more intense than your standard shonen battle. Notably, there's the presence of the corrupt committee, of course, always, right? Who not only incorrectly call matches for their own benefit, but also force people to enter the tournament against the will. They did indeed do that. I'm actually rewatching the Dark Tournament as we speak. If I remember correctly, Hiei and Genkai are trapped in the supposed healing space while Kurama was fighting, and I believe Kurabara is in the middle of fighting or something like that, and Yusuke's trying to prep to jump in, or actually no, I think he did jump in. I think he is fighting. Let's see. There's also a plot line where someone tries to use the tournament to open up a demon gate. There's real tension in these moments, and this arc manages to keep audience on the edge of their seats. Like literally, like I said, when I sat down and watched Dark Tournament for the first time a few years back, obviously the main focus, of course, was when would Yusuke fight Toguro or his brothers or whomever, and of course they had to add the mix of his friends getting in there too, the crew. Obviously Genkai tried to come in, and she tried to hide her face, but of course the voice, just the dubbed acting voice, just you knew it was her. So that was that, and like I said, from start to finish, I felt like most of, if not all of, the Dark Tournament was just really, really good, really great. Of course, we got that climactic battle between Yusuke and Toguro, which was just like really, really dope. Because I knew that Toguro had more up his sleeve than what he led on, and of course, we get his transformation and stuff like that. Second place, one that's actually in my top 5. It's the tuning exams of Naruto. This is number 2 on the list. It says Naruto is primarily a series about ninja-based political intrigue, but the tuning exams are a non-stop action thrill ride. They do a great job of introducing the characters and their abilities and at hinting towards the dangers they'll face in the future. Tuning exams start with a written test where students are encouraged to cheat. They quickly progress to an obstacle course in the woods that brings them in contact with the disconcerting villain Orochimaru. And then for those who haven't been disqualified, there's a final series of fights. Some fights are ridiculous, like the one where Naruto defeats Kiba by farting in his face. That was hilarious, by the way. But others are exquisitely painful, like the emotional fraught battle between cousins Hinata and Neji. That was like one of the dopest, like literally one of the dopest fights that I saw between family. Like, wasn't expecting at that time during the Chunin exams, like cousins to be rumbling like that. And Neji just did not hold back against Hinata. The two of them attempted to resolve their deep-seated family issues by pummeling one another in a battle that ultimately puts Hinata in the hospital. The exam is eventually interrupted by the city being invaded, which only serves to increase the intensity of the series. And that's the thing, like, when I look back and think back at the Chunin exams, it was just like, I knew that they were being tested, but not knowing that these were tests that were trying to figure out who was the strongest, who was the weak, and who they were going to place with their teachers, their future teachers, ultimately to actually go out and do missions and stuff for the Hidden Leaf Village and stuff like that. So just one of my, literally, it is one of my favorite top tournaments of all time. Number 3 is Hunter x Hunter. Numero uno. Wow, that's interesting. See, on here it says Hunter x Hunter. On this screen it says the World Martial Arts Tournament. So this is, it might be a typo, or I don't know. That's interesting. So they swapped these two. And it's literally the same article, so I don't know what the heck's going on. They must have swapped it last minute or something. Because like I said, on here, number 3 is Hunter x Hunter, and then number 4 would be Dragon Ball, the World Martial Arts Tournament. So it's really interesting. It's totally fine. I'll just go with this one here. Let's hope that there's no power outage. Let's hope. My lights flickered. They did say, I did get a message saying there's thunderstorms brewing. So I might not go through the whole thing. Or I might go through the whole thing just like giving bits and pieces and call it within the next 15 or so minutes. Because I really don't like thunder and lightning and power outages and stuff. So we'll see. So number 3 per the screen here is Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball, for me, I would say as a Dragon Ball fan, Dragon Ball Z fan, Dragon Ball Super fan, that back in the early 2000s, I was watching Dragon Ball Z first. I didn't even know Dragon Ball existed until I want to say a couple of years later, if I remember, maybe a year or so later, year and a half. And then that's when because I was just getting the DVDs, and then eventually I ended up finding out about them actually having DVDs for Dragon Ball, and then that's when I ended up purchasing a lot of those back then. But this is what it says: the World Martial Arts Tournament in Dragon Ball is a classic shonen tournament arc. Earth's strongest fighters come together every 3 years to fight for the title of World Martial Arts Champion. It's a good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat fight where weapons or cheat shots to the groin or eyes aren't allowed. There wasn't a fight during this arc that wasn't fun and entertaining. Goku versus Jackie Chun and Goku versus Piccolo were notable fights that are considered the best in the series. It really was. Like when I sit down and think and remember and reminisce on those fights, like I really can say that from start to finish in the Dragon Ball tournament, the World Martial Arts Tournament, like every fight had meaning of some sort. Every fight was definitely brought something interesting and fun to the table at that time. So yeah. Now number 4 would be Hunter x Hunter Heaven's Arena. One of my favorite tournaments for sure. Just because, you know, the stipulations, again, this is all a part of the Hunter exam. Just wasn't just something that people just decided to do. It was just still a part of their, you know, Gon and Kahlua and everybody else's stance as becoming hunters at the time. But per the article, as this one on the screen, having it being number 4, the Heaven's Arena tournament from Hunter x Hunter has a unique format. Participants must scale the floors of an enormous building and defeat enemies on each floor. The difficulty and financial rewards increase with each floor. Those who reach the 251st floor not only get riches and glory, but they are also permitted to live in a place called Battle Olympia with other powerful fighters. The consistent escalation of stakes, as well as the truly terrifying opponents the protagonists encounter, bring unmatched intensity to this particular tournament. Like, I literally just sat and rewatched some of that, and I'm actually going through. Took a little bit of a break, a couple of weeks. I think I took a little bit of a break while I'm watching and reacting to here on the channel the 1999 original version, and I believe we just if I remember correctly, we just finalized the Heaven's Arena. Where Gon fought Hisoka, and he, you know, moved on from there. So like I said, and that's right. We're at the part where he went to chase after Kahlua to bring him back. I think I just got to the point where they got back with each other and they're leaving to head back out to do something else. So I have to get back on this soon. Gotta stop procrastinating. Like I said, I took a little bit of break. From stuff, just period. I haven't watched any anime in like 3 weeks, to be honest. Kind of just took a mental break. So now, is this the same? Because number 5 is showing on my phone. Here it is. So the top 5, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, are the top 5. So the World Martial Arts Tournament and Dragon Ball Super's Tournament of Power hit the top 5 of this list. And it is indeed one of the greatest tournaments to me. I really thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish this tournament. There were definitely some aspects of the tournament I didn't enjoy, but ultimately I definitely give the entire tournament 9 out of 10 in total from my rating. It's been my rating since it debuted and finalized. Jiren is actually one of my favorite Dragon Ball Super characters, and I continue to have a bit of a debate with my buddy, my homie Shaq B, because he hates on Jiren so much. But this is what it says about this one. Held by the Kings Zeno and Future Zeno, the tournament of power in Dragon Ball Super was created to determine the strongest universe. In order to weed out the weaker universes, this tournament has incredibly high stakes, since any team who loses will have their universes erased from existence. It's a survival style battle royal where all 80 fighters fight simultaneously and knock each other off the ring. This tournament was a nail-biting, intense ride as Dragon Ball fans witnessed their favorite characters fighting together as a team. Goku, Vegeta, and Android 17's combination attacks against Jiren was especially an epic moment that proved why Dragon Ball fights are the best. Like, literally, guys, like, yeah, like, Jiren was doing his thing. He would just chill in the corner, just conserving energy, waiting for an opponent he was looking to test and respect and all of that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, all of these universes were in it to win it, to basically survive, so that, and it just sucked that a lot of these, per the stipulations, if your universe lost, you were gone. It was a wrap. It's like, man, and it just sucks that it went that way. And it just sucked. So number 6, one of my all-time favorite animes, Black Clover, which I still gotta keep saying it. I need to quit playing around, quit slacking. I got like 40 episodes left in the season prior, or in the anime period before they're supposed to be coming back with the continuation at some point later this year or next year or something like that. And I just gotta quit slacking around. I know that the manga is getting ready to come back for its final arc, if I remember correctly, right? If it hasn't started already. So yeah, but this one is, of course, the Royal Knights selection exam. Really just fun, dope selection exam. Asta and crew just really did their thing, and of course they used one of the dopest images ever, because the squad was ready to jump on your boy with the quickness, like, you want it, son, you want the smoke, we'll bring the smoke, let's get it. So in Black Clover, the Magic Emperor Julius, my homie Julius, announces that there will be an exam to determine which Magic Knight will join the Royal Knights, a squad that will directly serve the king. Randomly selected groups of 3 across various Magic Knight squads must compete against each other for 30 minutes. In this tournament, the goal is to break the opposing team's giant crystal that they are guarding. This tournament has knights from different teams working together, making for interesting character interactions, development. Plus, the team-based competition offers amazing and complex fights that require teamwork and strategy rather than just strength. Of course, yes, that's what you need in a tournament like this. You need to be able to have that teamwork, not just rely on brute strength. It has to be strategy. I think that in mostly all of the tournaments, there has to be some sense of strategy in there, just because, you know, some teamwork needs to happen, some double teams, triple teams, taking out one of the strongest so that you can work on excuse me, so that you can work on a few not so strong, not so mentally like strong and stuff like that. Like, you got to work on some of the weaker cats while you're taking on, you know, so that you can then focus on the strongest one or stronger one. It's needed in these tournaments. So yeah, Black Clover is one of my favorite tournaments of all time. This one I have no knowledge of, but this is ranked number 7. It's the Grand Magic Games from Fairy Tail. I started watching a little bit of the first season. I'm only like, I think 7 or 8 episodes into the first season, so this gives me just what this tournament is going to be about. That's what it says for the Grand Magic tournament. Grand Magic Games is one of the most important events for the Fairy Tail Guild, as it determines the strongest guild in Fior. Each guild is ready to give it their all in order to come out on top, and with both the current number 1 guild, Sabretooth, and the former Dark Guild, Raven Tail, looking to win, the competition is fierce. There were many memorable, intense fights during this tournament, like Jalal versus Jura and Elfman versus Bacchus, and the satisfaction of seeing how far the Fairy Tail Guild has come, mixing for an emotional, inspiring arc. Nice. So that's just something I'm looking for. There probably was a little bit of spoiler stuff in there, but it's all good. I don't really mind that. But it's just something I'm looking forward to when I first sit down to watch that specific tournament. Now, number 8. I think I'm going to go with the next 3 and then call it, because like I said, there is some rain and stuff and clouds brewing outside, so I don't want the stream to get cut if the power goes out. Hopefully the power doesn't go out. So number 8 is one of my favorite tournaments, of course. It's the sports festival from My Hero Academia. I gotta stop slacking too. It's another one. A season behind. I gotta watch season 5 because season 6 is going to be coming down the line in a few months. It was announced 72 hours or within that time frame that I think I'm gonna call it after this. Season 6 supposed to drop in October 6th. Yeah, Wind's blowing hard. I think I'm gonna cut it after this one. While most sports festivals are one episode fillers, My Hero Academia does things a little different. The sports festival isn't a bunch of kids running around. It's a televised event where UA students start off with competitive obstacle courses, then move on to full-on battles with their powerful classmates. The stakes here are particularly high because hero agencies are in the audience looking for potential talent. These kids are fighting for their future careers. Besides that, some of the matchups are crazy intense. This is especially true for the Bakugo versus Todoroki match, which combines amazing fire-based action with some painful family turmoil for Shuto. So definitely, guys, it's true. My Hero Academia is one of my favorite animes of all time. I loved all 4 seasons that I watched. Can't wait to sit down and watch season 5. It's definitely dope. And yeah, like literally that fight between Bakugo and Shuto is just one of my favorite of all times. But with that, I'm getting ready to end it because I'm gonna cut all this stuff off just in case there's a power outage or something like that. But leave some comments in the comment section below what y'all think of the video, the stream, guys. Let's talk about some things. I'll hopefully talk to you next time with another